Okay, good afternoon. It's Afolabi from Formula One Fanatics. Sergio Checo Perez has signed a new 2-year contract with Red Bull, extending his stay with the team until the end of 2026 Formula One season. This decision is a bit surprising, considering the fact that he has been very, very underwhelming this season. To join me to discuss this issue this afternoon is Mustafa Jinabi. Good afternoon, Mustafa.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the Formula One Fanatics channel. So we want to start by saying that Checo Perez is a very good person. He, in 2021, his work with getting points and undercutting other people allowed Verstappen to win the title the first year. So he's a very good driver. But right now, I'm thinking that it's a little bit surprising that he's being signed. And I want to start by focusing on the fact that I think this year Christian Horner he's been very erratic. First of all, even though he was cleared of any wrongdoing with the female, it's very clear from the news and from people who've talked that there are emails which implicate him. So
Sure.
Horner has had personal problems. Yes. And Checo has always been on his side. But right now, I'm not going to blame Checo because contract for 2 years, but it seems like Horner is a group and create a team in which only people are loyal to him are there. But he's not going to get rid of Helmut Marko because Marko says that because Verstappen says if Marko goes, I go. And I also so I'm kind of rambling, but I think this is a very complicated situation in which Verstappen may not want to have a stronger driver later on, like Sainz, who was supposed to be on the team. And I want to say I feel bad for Sainz because Sainz should be on Red Bull, especially since Verstappen may not be there after 2026. So, what are your thoughts, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I think it's a strategic move to keep Max happy. The decision to retain Perez is partly to keep Max Verstappen content, as he enjoys having Perez as a teammate. And since I don't think they care about whatever happens as a constructor. It's the cash that comes in from Verstappen's wins that is really the priority. And Verstappen is contracted to 2028 anyway, so they don't want anything that will upset the apple cart really, as far as Max Verstappen is concerned.
Yeah.
And the problem,
but I think it's a false move because I think. Continue. You're right. Continue. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were talking about Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz actually aimed for a long-term contract with Red Bull, but was offered only a short-term deal. He got discouraged and he started looking for opportunities in places like Williams. This highlights the challenges and strategic decisions that drivers usually face regarding long-term career stability. And this is not really good for Formula One.
It's not good. And what I will say is that Sainz is a millionaire many times over. He probably makes 20 million more than we make. Actually, we make nothing. But we do this. But my point being is that if I were Sainz and he's probably worth 20, $30 million. Money is no longer important. You want to go to a winning team. And also Formula One wants to see Sainz on a winning team.
Yes.
It would have been great to see Sainz with Verstappen. So, but this is a very complicated situation. But I think that Horner is not making very good decisions because I think Verstappen may still leave because him and his dad, I don't think they like Horner. I don't think so. What do you think?
I agree with you. They were not particularly.
They don't like him, and I think they will leave.
The scandal was handled, and it appears
and also
that he used his power and influence.
So it seems to me, I'm just saying my own point. I don't like to talk bad about people, but I'm just going to say it. Horner seems to be an alpha male who wants control and cares about control more than winning. That lady, it's very clear that there were emails where he was inappropriate, but there was a cover-up. First thing he did was suspend her and then started wanting to get rid of people. And then next thing you know, Adrian Newey is gone. And now they're having problems with curbing and all kinds of issues. And the car is getting slower and McLaren and Ferrari are breathing down their necks. And to me, next year, it's not clear that Red Bull can win. And they will need to have a good driver like Sainz.
Yes.
Because I think if Sainz goes to Red Bull, Verstappen and putting back guys like Lando Norris, Piastri, and the rest of these guys who are on their tails. And also, of course, I can't forget Leclerc. the Prince of Monaco.
Yeah.
So my thing is that next year they're going to be under a lot of pressure, and I don't think Checo can carry the weight. Not only for the constructors, forget about the constructors. Checo needs to be fast enough to make sure that other drivers from other teams come third, and so they don't challenge Verstappen. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's better to have Sainz on the team because it will undercut, it will challenge, it will take points away from McLaren and Ferrari drivers. What do you think?
Exactly. That's exactly the most important thing. Because right now on the driver standings, it's on 107 points. It's fifth. It's currently 50. If he continues to perform poorly, it's going to affect Red Bull as a team. But if they have a better driver, it will, the competition between Red Bull and McLaren is beginning to narrow. The McLaren guys are beginning to perform better and they're making progress. At this stage, I think it would have been better for them to sign a driver of Carlos Sainz caliber. I'm surprised, but again, they make it look strategic. But I think it's the internal politics and loyalty.
It's politics.
Which made Perez to get this new deal.
And when from what I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing, Helmut Marko wanted.
I really stood for Christian Horner during the scandal.
The scandal, yes. And I'm sorry to say this, but he was doing that to look out for himself. Perhaps.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I guess this was the payback for that loyalty, I guess.
For the loyalty, which is okay, but to me, Horner is driving this team into the ground. And Helmut Marko wanted Sainz. And we have to listen to Marko because Marko was the one who brought up Verstappen. So Marko wanted Sainz on the team. And they're saying that Horner didn't want to give Sainz a long-term contract. He did that on purpose because it would scare Sainz away.
Yes.
And once again, I want to say that I feel so bad for Sainz because to me, Sainz is top 4 drivers in the world. And he deserves to be on a very good team. Now, I don't want to disrespect Checo, but Checo has made mistakes. He's slightly liable, even though the Haas guys like Magnussen, who's an a-hole. That guy's an a-hole. Yeah. Magnussen and the Haas brothers continue causing havoc and destroying people's careers. But even though Magnussen may be involved, Checo made mistakes and almost took out his own teammate, Verstappen. Then he didn't get past Q1. There's no way you drive the Red Bull car and you can't get past Q1 or Q2.
Those are very
and he made mistakes in Miami. So what I'm saying is that I think Checo is a good driver, but I think he's distracted and I think he's demoralized because I think they've already told him on that team, oh boy, Verstappen is the man. And I think Checo has a fight within himself. I think he's fighting with himself because he wants to have the economic stability and drive of Red Bull. But I think deep in his heart, he knows it's not the right setup. You need to be.
I think what is happening in Red Bull, sorry to cut you, Mustafa. I think what's happening.
No, you're good. Thank you. That's how we do. We're fanatics. Continue.
Is symptomatic of Formula One as a whole. There's this belief that there's a lot of inequality and nepotism and dictatorialism in Formula One. Other capable
very quickly, I'm going to cut you very quickly before you continue. Just like Tsunoda. Tsunoda's supposed to be on Red Bull senior team, but he's not. Why not? But continue. That's a question for another day. Continue with your thought.
That's exactly what I was going to say, that drivers like Yuki Tsunoda of AlphaTauri and Esteban Ocon of Alpha are struggling to secure seats just because of this kind of nepotic behavior in Formula One.
Yeah. It's the same. I hate to say it, even though I'm a Verstappen fan, he won that championship in 2021 based on very bad decisions, but it's all about money. And also it's about money why Horner was in charge for inappropriate behavior, because even the Saudi guy said the show must go on. Everybody knows their emails, and Helmut Marko read those emails. He read those emails. And trust me, Nui read those emails. And now Nui, we don't even know where Nui is going to go.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of problem. And I think you said it or Kunle said it. Formula One is like the circus. They go to every town. It's one big family like WWE, which is rigged.
This is a huge gamble by Red Bull. What if Checo doesn't improve his performances? McLaren are on their tails. The two drivers.
No, I think, to be honest with you, I think next year, McLaren may very well win. Yeah, they'll win because Red Bull is having problems with curbing. They've already, and now we know the value of Adrian Newey because they were phasing Adrian Newey out because once again, I think Horner is a control freak and he'd rather be the boss than have a team that wins. Now that Adrian Newey is going, all of a sudden, I thought it was just excuses, but Max keeps saying this car is not controllable, and everybody knows that Max is like a robot. He doesn't do manipulation. If he's saying that the car is out of control, and he knew, he wasn't even nervous. He said he knew during free practice that he wasn't going to win Monaco or even win the qualifying. It means that the quality has already dropped in Red Bull. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you because, like you said, Max Verstappen is a robot. Once he sees that he has issue with the car, he won't out-maneuver or try and manipulate himself out of it. And because they respect him so much, because of his exploits, it's now left to his team Red Bull to do something about it. But I feel, first and foremost, they want to make the guys settled and happy. That's one of the reasons. And then secondly,
well, here's what I think. Max Verstappen, I think he's going to leave it.
Loyalty, really. Because if you look at the performance,
yeah, it's compensation. But one thing I know,
times, third once, and then crashing out of Monaco, there is no rational reason why he should be given a new contract, really.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you very much. This is a very short show. This is Formula One Fanatics. We want you to watch us. We also want to say thank you to the whole universe of Formula One shows. Tired FC, you guys are good. Cameron the Poet is good. Baba Windsor is good. But also we're good. But what I want to say, yeah, Baba Windsor. If Windsor, that means Papa. It means you're the old guy, and we all respect you. Now, what I want to say is that if Verstappen does not win in Canada, I promise you he's going to be leaving in 2 years. Because Red Bull, they've been making excuses that Red Bull is made for high-speed tracks and high-speed corners. If Leclerc should win or McLaren should win, trust me, Verstappen and his dad will already start signing contracts with Mercedes. That's my prediction. Now, let me let you in. And what do you think about what I said in your last words? Yeah.
Of course, because if you look at the Canada track, I took a sneak preview of the track over the weekend. It's not as circuitous as Monaco. And so all the excuses for Monaco will not come into play in Montreal. They really have to give it a good shot and redeem their image.
Yeah.
So I share your
your and I think Red Bull still has the most straight line speed. But now right now Leclerc is becoming the fastest guy from point to point on straight lines.
Yeah.
I think Sainz is better on the bends, on the corners, not the well, we call it bends, corners, curves, whatever.
Yeah.
But my thing is that if Verstappen does not win,
Lando will be there or thereabouts. Suddenly.
They'll be there about. And I think McLaren is the most improved team. And I think that next year is 50-50 between Red Bull and McLaren for who will win the driver's title.
Yes.
I'm going to give a slight advantage to Lando to beat Piastri. But they're very close.
They're very close.
But this is where, so we're going to end with this. This is where the Checo problem comes in. If Checo was driving as he should drive, he can take points away from them and help Verstappen. Because it's clear to me that nobody cares about constructors. We care about drivers' championship. That's why Red Bull doesn't care. But they need to realize you need to have a good number two driver to be able to take points away from the other people. So I say Warif, not Warif, is the drinks. Falabi, take us out in 15 seconds. Anything you want to say. And also, thank you for your hard work. Thank you very much. This is Formula One Fanatics. Like and subscribe. Continue, Falabi.
It's my pleasure. We're a team here. We're all working for each other. We'd like you to stay tuned. The Montreal Grand Prix is just around the corner. Like, share, and subscribe. It's Afolabi from Formula One Fanatics. See you next time.
Thank you, guys. Afolabi.